In the Russian language, there is a special group of verbs called verbs of motion. And just like their name says, they're used to describe movement. Я ходила в кино. Он пришел в магазин. Мы проходим дорогу. Now, if you want to learn more about the Russian verbs of motion, make sure to check out this video here. What I'm going to talk about here is using these verbs not to describe movement, but using them in a figurative sense to describe different kinds of actions. And here I will give you 7 examples of how you can use the Russian verbs of motion in a figurative sense and explain their actual meanings versus their figurative meanings. Let's get started. The first example is время проходило быстро. Time passed quickly. Here we have used the verb проходить. The actual meaning of the verb проходить, if we use it as a verb of motion, is to go on foot and pass something. Я проходила мимо магазина. For example, I passed by the shop. But in this sentence, время проходило быстро, we use it not to express movement, but to express that the time passed quickly. We can also say лето прошло быстро. Summer passed quickly. So summer was quickly over. So of course summer or time, they do not go on foot. That's why in this sentence we use the verb of motion проходить in a figurative sense. The second example is мне пришлось ехать на автобусе. Now here we have 2 verbs of motion. The first one, пришлось, is used in a figurative sense, and the second one is ехать, which we use it normally as a verb of motion and to express movement. So when it comes to the first verb, пришлось, that's from the verb прийтись. In this form, the verb прийтись means that you had to do something. You didn't want to, but you had to do something. Now this is a reflexive verb, and as such we are not going to use it as a verb of motion. The verb of motion would be прийти, which means to come on foot, прийти. But when we use it in a figurative sense, we add the suffix с, we turn it into a reflexive verb, and we use it to express that you had to do something even if you didn't want to. Мне пришлось ехать на автобусе. I had to go by bus because I didn't have any other option. Example number 3 is ему всегда везет. He's always lucky. The verb we've used here is везти. Normally, везти means to carry something by transport. In this sentence, the verb везти is used to express that somebody is lucky. Мне везет. I'm lucky. Ему всегда везет. He's always lucky. Нам повезло. We were lucky. The next example is тебе идет эта рубашка. This shirt suits you. Тебе идет эта рубашка. The verb we've used is идти. You know that this verb means to go on foot. Идти, so to go on foot in one direction or as a one-time movement. But in this sentence, in a figurative sense, we use this verb to say that something suits somebody. And we use this verb mainly to talk about clothes. Тебе идет эта рубашка. Мне идет эта куртка. Ему идет эта шапка. The next example is мне не нравится, как он ведет себя. I don't like the way he behaves. Мне не нравится, как он ведет себя. The verb we've used is вести. Normally, this verb, used as a verb of motion, means to lead someone, вести. But used in a figurative sense, it means to behave in a specific way. Ведите себя хорошо. Behave well. Ребенок вел себя плохо. The kid behaved badly. Мне не нравится, как он ведет себя. I don't like the way he behaves. Вести себя means to behave. The next example is о чем идет речь. This means what is it about? О чем идет речь? Here we've used the verb идти, which normally means to go on foot. But in the sentence о чем идет речь, we use it in a figurative sense. So literally we can translate this as What is the conversation about? Речь идет о. The conversation is about or it is about something. Речь идет о. О чем идет речь? Речь идет о. Речь идет о новых технологиях. And the last example I want to show you here is они сошли с ума. They went crazy. Они сошли с ума. Literally, when we use this verb as a verb of motion, сойти means to get off. But in the sentence они сошли с ума, we use this verb in the sense of they went crazy. So сойти с ума means to go crazy. Она сошла с ума. She went crazy. Он сошел с ума. He went crazy. I hope that you learned something new and interesting from this video. I would be very happy if you join our community of Russian language enthusiasts by subscribing to this channel, and I promise a new useful bit of Russian language related knowledge next week. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Всем пока!